The Soviet Union mobilized for war with an infantry arsenal spanning 3 decades, from Tsarist-era revolvers to weapons that would define the Cold War. 38 firearms, every pistol, rifle, submachine gun, machine gun, and blade the Red Army fielded from 1941 to 1945, documented in full. Let's begin with pistols. Nagant M1895. Belgian designer Leon Nagant's gas seal revolver, adopted by Imperial Russia in 1895. 7.62 by 38 mm. Air Nagant, 7-round cylinder. Unique gas seal system between cylinder and barrel, increased velocity. Over 2 million produced. Standard Red Army sidearm throughout the war. Slow to reload, but absolutely reliable in combat. TT-33 Tokarev. Fedor Tokarev's semi-automatic pistol based on Browning's design. 7.62 by 25 mm. Tokarev, 8-round magazine. Approximately 1.7 million produced from 1933. Simple, robust mechanism optimized for mass production. Powerful cartridge with exceptional penetration against body armor. Standard officer sidearm across all Soviet forces throughout the war. Korovin, TK Compact, 6.35 mm Browning pocket pistol, 6-round magazine. Sergei Korovin design, produced 1926 to 1930s. Approximately 70,000 manufactured. Issued primarily to NKVD personnel and senior officers requiring concealed carry. Limited wartime production, but remained in service through 1945. Simple blowback mechanism proved reliable in field conditions. Belitsky pistol. Experimental 7.62 by 25 mm semi-automatic designed by Belitsky in early 1930s. Limited production, fewer than 1,000 units. Issued to special units and security forces. Never achieved widespread adoption due to manufacturing complexity. Represents Soviet experimentation with domestic pistol designs before settling on the TT-33 as standard sidearm. Continuing with bolt-action rifles. Mosin-Nagant M1891/30. The rifle that armed the Red Army. 7.62 by 54 mm R. 5-round internal magazine. 730 mm barrel. Over 17 million produced. Bolt action, effective to 500 meters. Standard infantry weapon from Finland to Berlin. Simple, durable, accurate. Every Soviet infantryman carried one. Remained service through 1960s. Mosin-Nagant M1938 carbine. Shortened carbine variant introduced 1938. 7.62 by 54 mm R. 5-round magazine. 510 mm barrel. Issued to cavalry, artillery crews, and support units. Lighter and more maneuverable than the full-length M1891/30. Approximately 3 million produced before 1944, redesigned into M1944 variant with integral folding bayonet. Mosin-Nagant M1944 carbine. Final Mosin variant with permanently attached folding bayonet. 7.62 by 54 mm R. 5-round magazine. Introduced late 1943. Combined M1938 carbine length with integral spike bayonet. Over 10 million produced. Remained Soviet service rifle through the 1960s. Issued to infantry, paratroopers, and armor crews throughout final war years. Burden. No. 2 American Hiram Burden's single-shot rifle, adopted by Imperial Russia 1870. 10.75 by 58 mm R. Bolt action. Still held in reserve arsenals and issued to militia units early in the war. Obsolete but functional. Represents the oldest firearm Red Army deployed in combat. over 70 years old, yet still capable of effective fire. Moving on to semi-automatic and automatic rifles. Fedorov Automat. Vladimir Fedorov's 1916 design, the world's first assault rifle concept. 6.5 by 50 millimeters Arisaka, 25-round magazine, selective fire. Approximately 3,200 produced. Issued to specialist units in Finland 1939 to 1940. Too complex for mass production. Ahead of its time by 3 decades, pioneering automatic rifle development. AVS-36. Simonov's first semi-automatic rifle attempt. 7.62 by 54 millimeters R, 15-round detachable magazine, selective fire capability. Approximately 65,000 produced, 1936 to 1940. Gas-operated but complex and fragile. Withdrawn after Finnish Winter War revealed severe reliability problems in extreme cold. Replaced by more robust designs. SVT-38. Tokarev's semi-automatic rifle. 7.62 by 54 millimeters R, 10-round detachable magazine. Approximately 150,000 produced, 1938 to 1940. Gas-operated, sophisticated design. Proved too delicate for frontline infantry use. Redesigned into the more robust SVT-40. Complex mechanism required trained armorers for proper maintenance and field repairs. SVT-40. Improved Tokarev semi-automatic. 7.62 by 54 millimeters R, 10-round magazine. Approximately 1.6 million produced, 1940 to 1945. Simplified manufacturing, improved reliability. Effective in trained hands, but required maintenance infantry couldn't provide under combat conditions. Gradually withdrawn, replaced by simpler bolt actions and submachine guns. AVT-40. Automatic variant of SVT-40 with selective fire. 7.62 by 54 millimeters R, 10-round magazine, approximately 750 rounds per minute. Limited production from 1942. Full auto fire proved uncontrollable and caused excessive wear to critical components. Issued primarily to Guards units. Required constant maintenance to remain operational. AS-44 Sudiev's late war assault rifle prototype. 7.62 by 39 millimeter intermediate cartridge. 30-round magazine, selective fire. Only prototypes completed before war's end. Directly competed with Kalashnikov's design. Sudiev's death, 1946, ended development. A K-47 won adoption. Represented Soviet experimentation with intermediate cartridge automatic rifles. Late war. SKS-45. Simonov's semi-automatic carbine. 7.62 by 39 millimeter intermediate cartridge. 10-round internal magazine. Gas-operated tilting bolt. Development completed 1945. Adopted post-war. Represented Soviet transition to intermediate cartridges. Bridged gap between Mosin-Nagant and AK-47. Over 2.7 million eventually produced. Served worldwide through Cold War. Now let's look at submachine guns. Tokarev SMG, 1927. Fedor Tokarev's early submachine gun experiment. 7.62 by 25 millimeters, 25-round box magazine, approximately 800 rounds per minute. Fewer than 5,000 produced. Too complex for mass production. Proved submachine gun concept, but never saw widespread service. Identified technical challenges that later designs would solve. PPD 34/38. Degtyaryov's first successful submachine gun. 7.62 by 25 millimeters, 71-round drum magazine, approximately 800 rounds per minute. approximately 90,000 produced, 1934 to 1940. Expensive machined construction, issued primarily to NKVD and tank crews. Effective but too costly for mass wartime production requirements. PPD-40, simplified PPD variant. 7.62 by 25 mm, 71-round drum or 35-round box magazine. Approximately 6,000 produced before German invasion. Improved manufacturing but still required precision machining. Production ceased 1941, replaced by vastly simpler PPSH-41 design optimized for rapid mass production. PPSH-41, Spagen's iconic submachine gun. 7.62 by 25 mm, 71-round drum or 35-round box, approximately 900 rounds per minute. Over 6 million produced 1941 to 1945. Simple stamped steel, chrome-lined barrel. Standard Red Army weapon. Reliable in extreme cold. Sound defined the Eastern Front. PPS-42, Sudiyev's emergency design during Leningrad siege. 7.62 by 25 mm, 35-round box magazine, approximately 700 rounds per minute. All stamped construction requiring minimal machining. Approximately 46,000 produced 1942 to 1943. Cheaper and simpler than PPSH-41. Refined into PPS-43. Designed under active siege conditions. PPS-43, final Sudiyev refinement. 7.62 by 25 mm, 35-round magazine, folding stock. Approximately 500,000 produced 1943 to 1946. Even simpler than PPS-42. Issued to scouts, vehicle crews, paratroopers. Most cost-effective submachine gun of the war. Influenced post-war designs worldwide, including Finnish and Chinese variants. Continuing with light machine guns. DP-27, Degtyaryov's magazine-fed light machine gun, the Degtyaryov Pehotny. 7.62 by 54 mm R. 47-round pan magazine, gas-operated, approximately 550 rounds per minute. Over 795,000 produced. Simple, reliable, effective. Standard Red Army Squad automatic weapon throughout the war. Distinctive pan magazine easily recognizable. DPM modernized. DP-27 introduced 1944. 7.62 by 54 mm R. 47-round magazine. Improved bipod, pistol grip, recoil spring relocation. Addressed original DP-27 weaknesses identified in combat. Approximately 800,000 produced. Remained service through 1960s. Improved reliability and reduced maintenance requirements in field conditions. DT, tank-mounted version of DP-27. 7.62 by 54 mm R. 60-round pan magazine. Telescoping stock, pistol grip. Designed for confined tank turrets but also used by infantry when captured from disabled vehicles. Shared DP-27 reliability and simplicity. Larger magazine capacity suited sustained fire support role. Maxim Tokarev MT. Tokarev's attempt to lighten the Maxim M1910. 7.62 by 54 mm R. Belt-fed, water-cooled. Approximately 2,500 produced 1925 to 1930s. Lighter than M1910, but still too heavy for modern warfare. Never achieved widespread adoption. Obsolete by 1941. Represented transition between WW1 and modern automatic weapons. DS-39, Degtyaryov's belt-fed light machine gun. 7.62 by 54 mm R. 50-round metallic belt, approximately 600 rounds per minute. Approximately 10,000 produced 1939 to 1941. Proved unreliable, prone to jamming in field conditions. Withdrawn from service. DP-27 proved more dependable in combat operations. Now, heavy machine guns. Maxim M1910/30. Hiram Maxim's 1884 design adopted by Imperial Russia. Modernized 1910 and 1930. 7.62 by 54 mm R. Belt-fed, water-cooled. Approximately 520 rounds per minute. Over 600,000 produced. Obsolete but reliable. Wheeled Sokolov mount. Standard defensive weapon throughout war. Served from Tsarist Army through Great Patriotic War. SG-43. Goryunov. Goryunov's modern belt-fed machine gun, introduced 1943. 7.62 by 54 mm R. 250-round belt, approximately 700 rounds per minute. Approximately 80,000 produced. Lighter than Maxim, easier to manufacture. Replaced M1910/30 in production. Served through Korean War. Represented modernization of Soviet heavy machine gun doctrine. DSHK 1938 Degtyaryov Shpagin heavy machine gun. 12.7 by 108 mm. Belt-fed. Approximately 600 rounds per minute. Over 8,000 produced wartime. Anti-aircraft and vehicle mount. Powerful Soviet equivalent to Browning M2. Remained service standard through Cold War. Effective against light armor and aircraft targets. Moving to anti-tank rifles. PTRD-41. Degtyaryov's single-shot anti-tank rifle. 14.5 by 114 mm. Bolt action. Approximately 184,000 produced 1941 to 1945. Long recoil operation. Muzzle brake. Effective against early war German armor. Became obsolete as tank armor thickened. Infantry used against bunkers late war. Simple, reliable design suited mass production. PTRS-41. Semenov's semi-automatic anti-tank rifle. 14.5 by 114 mm. 5-round magazine. Gas-operated. Approximately 190,000 produced. More complex than PTRD-41, but higher rate of fire. Shared same obsolescence against improved armor. Remained valuable against light vehicles and fortifications throughout war. Sholikov anti-tank rifle. Experimental anti-tank rifle design by Sholikov. Limited information available. Prototype or very limited production. 14.5 mm caliber. Never achieved service adoption. Represents Soviet experimentation alongside PTRD and PTRS development. Design details remain largely undocumented in available historical records. Now, sniper rifles. Mosin-Nagant M1891/30. Sniper. Standard M1891/30, fitted with PU 3.5 times telescopic sight. 7.62 by 54 mm R. 5-round magazine. Over 330,000 sniper variants produced. Simple, accurate, reliable. Armed Soviet snipers including Vasily Zaitsev and Lyudmila Pavlichenko. Most prolific sniper rifle of the war. Proven effective from Stalingrad to Berlin. SVT-40, Sniper. SVT-40, semi-automatic, fitted with PE or PU scope. 7.62 by 54 mm R, 10-round magazine. Approximately 50,000 sniper variants produced. Semi-automatic fire advantage, but required careful maintenance. Issued to trained marksmen capable of maintaining complex mechanism. Effective in skilled hands despite reliability concerns. Going on with knives and bayonets. NR-40 combat knife. Standard Red Army fighting knife introduced 1940. 152 mm single-edged blade, S-guard, wooden or plastic grip. Approximately 400,000 produced. Issued to scouts, tank crews, combat engineers. Simple, effective close-quarters weapon. Based on Finnish Puukko design. Remained standard through post-war period. Mosin socket bayonet. Cruciform spike bayonet for Mosin-Nagant rifles. Four-sided blade, socket attachment. Standard issue with every M1891/30. Designed for trench warfare. Effective for combat and field tasks. Millions produced. Every Soviet infantryman carried one. Simple, durable, deadly in close combat. Finally, signal weapons. OSP-30 flare pistol. Soviet signal pistol introduced 1930. 26 mm flare cartridge, break action. Issued to officers and unit leaders for battlefield communication. Standard Red Army signaling device. Simple, reliable mechanism. Remained service through post-war period. Essential for coordinating attacks and defensive positions. OSH-42 flare pistol. Updated flare pistol introduced 1942. 26 mm cartridge, improved mechanism. Replaced OSP-30 in production. Lighter weight, simplified construction for wartime manufacturing. Issued across all Soviet forces for signal communication. Designed to meet increased wartime production demands while maintaining reliability. From the Nagant M1895, a Tsarist-era revolver still arming Red Army officers in 1945, to the AS-44 prototype that nearly became the AK-47, Soviet small arms trace a nation under total mobilization. The PPSH-41 armed entire infantry battalions with a weapon designed in a siege and built in tractor factories. The Mosin-Nagant equipped over 17 million soldiers with a rifle design from 1891 that remained lethally effective in 1945. 38 firearms, 4 years of total war. From Imperial legacy to Cold War foundation.